Okie dokie.
Good to see your beautiful face, Stephanie.
Thank you. Nice to see you. I'm just cold.
It's great to be seen by you.
Katie.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Hanging there. A little bit of a weird day.
Yeah.
How are you?
I am a little bit tired, but grateful for the feeling of being held no matter what.
Held.
Yeah, like I feel held.
That's good.
How are you, Parker?
I'm really good. I'm really good. I'm really grateful. I've had this abiding feeling of gratitude for, I don't know, the last few days. I'm looking forward to the Lightworkers Summit, and and all the, because the way that they would always do their virtual events, like the challenge, for example, it seems like it basically opens up a lot of opportunity for the people, the junior coaches, and the people who, like, Stephanie, you've been through a challenge, right? From on the inside.
Yeah. Coaching the challenge last time was my first time coaching the challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wonder if they're going to roll out. I wonder what the Lightworkers Summit, I wonder how it'll be similar to that or how it'll be different. So I'm looking forward to that. I think it'll be a good, I think it'll be like maybe more impactful than Magma would have been for me personally. And so I don't know. I haven't heard a lot of info about it. So I don't know what it'll be like, but I guess we'll see. But I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. It'll be nice just to have something else going on, and being engaged with other teachers or leaders or the work and the community, and something to work on.
I want to break the ice. There seems to be
I haven't looked at the homework, so I don't know what our topic is. I haven't done the homework. I haven't looked at this week's stuff. So I don't know.
I'm trying out this whole podcasting thing, and I put a light up here, and it's a lot of work, but it's fun.
Yeah, there is something I maybe want to get off my chest, which is that, I know we're all learning together, and ever since it's expressed by someone else in the group, I don't know, there was one call where there were some things that kind of the wrong way, and it took me a while to process it. And when it was then expressed that, I felt like there was one time where a lot of people were late, and we started off sharing wins, and not everyone had liked that. And ever since it was handled in a way of, well, from now on, this is what I'd like and how I want the rest of you to be, I've been hesitant to say anything, because I'm just like, all right, well, if it ain't perfect, here we go again, which is a theme I have in my own self that I have to work through. I tend to be reserved. I have to work on recovering from perfectionism. And if, I tend to assume that if something did bother me, that I'm the one who's wrong, and I should just suck it up and stop being a pussy and kind of have thicker skin. So I did kind of hold on to that for a while. I'm not even sure I remember who said it, but it has affected my willingness to participate, especially in the beginning, because I'm just like, you know, it's not always as organized as I would like that we get some of those assignments, and I just feel like if I get it wrong, then I just don't feel like taking heat for that. So I wanted to do that integrity clearing, which is, I should have been honest about how that made me feel to start with, and I'm going to be trying to be more willing to say stuff from the get-go, but I'm asking for some grace and reasonable treatment in that too. Like if half the group is late and we're starting a different way, you know, it doesn't hit me the right way if the person coming in late is like, well, I think we should have done it this other way. So, you know, all is forgiven, but I'm just asking that in the spirit of getting things going and making use of the time, that if it's not regimented and perfect, that there be some allowance of that. In the Fierce Conversations book, it outlined that sometimes they ended up using those times to deal with whole other things, like if people were having divorces or child issues or deaths in the family. Sometimes there ended up being something else that took precedence other than what it was supposed to be about, and that was okay too. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I'm gonna push myself to participate a little more and to be more aware of things in the moment when they're bugging me. But asking for the grace to be imperfect.
Grace granted.
We're far from perfect.
I'm just writing this down for everybody. Yeah, I'd like to do an integrity clearing. I've been kind of feeling like, and this is also something I'm working through in my other communities as well, is the concept of teamwork and camaraderie. And I know that in every community there is a sense of like, there is politics, if you want, you know, we're all personalities, right? So everybody has their own opinion. But I just like that even if we are quote unquote imperfect, because we really are, we're never going to be perfect until we get up there or wherever we're going to go. But just that we actually really want to work together on this, and we have a common goal, which is to succeed in whatever it is we came in here to do. So that being said, that's that. And then I'd like to know everybody's intention on why they even came into this program. I'll start. Mine was to clear up my gunk so that I could manifest my most compatible soulmate, meeting my partner, and at the same time getting the confidence to really put my stuff out there, because I've been doing this for the last 10 years. The learning, the blah, blah, blah. And I kept getting stuck in like what was really supposed to be socially correct. But now that this whole thing's happened, I'm super excited because I finally feel like I'm in my space and I can finally do my work. So that's mine. Those are my two.
You're saying the corona crisis has helped you to be able to get in the space where you feel more confident to do your work.
Yes, like I feel like the whole of last year, from September, actually August, all the way up to now, I've just been working full throttle to push myself into my being. And the coronavirus is like I'd say it finally was like, all right, universe was like, hello, you're ready, let's go. Hence why I'm a little bit tired, because I feel like this like has happened. So that's, yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations. How do you feel?
I feel ready. I feel excited. At the same time, I'm a little bit like, this is the dream I've been waiting for. And I remember my mother telling me, she says, you always wanted to be a superstar. You just didn't know where you wanted to put your superstardom. And she said, you have to be ready. Like, she literally told me, it's this big whoosh. And now I get it. Like, now my vessel is ready. Like, before I used to be like, no, I don't want attention. No. Why are they looking at me? Now I get it. Like, I'm like, oh shit. I can actually hold this now. Like,
Me now.
wow. But it's a lot of how do you say, responsibility, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, 80, because
Yeah.
you guys are leaders in your own way.
For sure.
Very strong, like, leadership in this group. We're just mirrors of each other, right? So those are my intentions for this, what do you call it, journey? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pick somebody who's gonna go in their intention. I mean, not even. This is hard now. Katie?
Hey, so originally I didn't know if I wanted to be a coach. I had a one or two bad experiences in the past, either getting coached or almost getting coached by people who seemed like they could only coach coaches to be other coaches in like a weird pyramid scheme type thing. So I had some resistance there, but I was going to be starting my coffee truck. And I also had some serious goals surrounding martial arts and physique. And, I was just like, I did want to make money off of it, do at least a little bit of coaching, or maybe kind of up level what I was offering with my readings and stuff. So, I really just kind of wanted to get my life all around together and get that coffee truck cranked out while keeping on track with everything else. And the funny thing is, now life has shifted in all these ways where it's like, I don't know exactly where I'll be living. And so now I have to focus on the online business, which is like the part that was the weirdest to me. I don't love social media. I've been pushing myself to be more active with that lately. But, I had really joined more for business development, and I think one of my first practice calls with tea went really well, and that's when I started to get more interested in like, oh, this could be something I could really be more interested in doing, the coaching aspect. And then things shifted and changed where I'm going to have to focus on that a lot more. And I wanted to also make sure I was like being the best wife I could be, like make sure I have all my own shit sorted out. I tend to kind of neglect domestic labor, and so I wanted to get my time management more on a schedule where my husband wouldn't feel stressed out like he had to do all of that. We should divide it up. And so those were some of the original intentions, and I have had some really good progress, especially with the bodybuilding and the martial arts. And it's something I've kind of not been talking about in the group that much, but this sea voyage caused a lot of other things to be canceled. And one of my buddies lives on a ranch outside of Tulsa, so I was able to go and train with some people. Like, we all lived in areas kind of outside cities where there's no known cases, so we were all kind of isolated and safe. So we brought our non-infected selves together, and we're like getting up at first light on this ranch with no Wi-Fi to train for like 6 hours. Which is pretty exhausting when you're training with a sword. So that was super fun. Like, I needed that. I needed to disconnect. I needed to see farm animals. Like, and I needed to see breakthrough in some of the other stuff where I just had been stuck at a plateau for a while, and not for lack of discipline or doing the right things, just like with any other form of coaching. I don't know all the things. I have so many tools in my toolbox. So I finally invested in the same coach my friend had used when she got into bodybuilding, and she's won some competitions and stuff, and it's going really well, and it's given me a really big sense of freedom. And I felt worried to talk about it because I didn't want it to seem shallow, diet culture-ish, or cringy, or trigger anyone, and that's not the place I'm coming from. I just have always been an athlete, and there were things I needed to cultivate to be at my best, and there's a sense of freedom and self-love I wanted from it too, and so it's been good. And yeah, I had a call with my coach this morning where she kind of pointed out that I was really embodying this sort of Catwoman energy, this like anti-hero, right to the point, not getting caught up in feelings, and that there was space for that too. You don't have to be the hustler or the one who speaks in sweeping, elegant overtures. Like, there's room for being, you know, expedient and a little bit wry, you know, a little bit of a dry sense of humor. So that felt good. It felt good to kind of start vibing out my niche. I kind of kept wondering where my niche was because I knew where it wasn't. And sorry, I went on a lot.
So
I joined with one expectation and now it's gone away.
Would you say that your actual intention now, just like from what I heard you say, is to actually accept all parts of you and just be what you want to be, where you want to be it?
I think I'd always had this thought in my head of like, I wanted a lucrative job where essentially it was my role to show up and be awesome. And I think I kind of like manifested that. But
so be awesome. I like that. Okay. Yeah. Nice. Okay. All right, you can choose somebody now.
Sure.
All right. My intention is first of all, I want to put myself into an environment where I can call myself forth and have other people call me forth to acknowledge my own shit and unhooking from that, so that I can create a reality in which every day is Disneyland. Every conversation, that means every message, every voicemail, every text, every comment on my social media is the universe trying to bring me a thriving business that creates heaven on earth. People who work with me make $50,000 a month. All worth of rewards. That's all kinds of the rewards that come with that. They are seeking quantum upgrades, a playground of joy, play, authenticity. And I also, another intention is I let go of the vigilant need to save everyone. I'm only attracting people who are ready for breakthroughs. I love myself on such a deep level that I only attract and receive loving adoration from people around me. And this is like a mind palace. Every communication I receive is the universe gifting me with people who understand that this work never dies, it never ends. They're invested for life because they know that this work is what's going to keep the gifts and the luxuries of life that they already enjoy. I attract clients who are inspired by how much time I spend nourishing myself and how much time I spend playing with my family. Honor the time that I spend away from work because they most value my example, and they believe that the type of life and quality of life that I'm living is possible for them. So my job as the original key player is to do less, is to do closest to nothing that I can, because the less I do, the more impactful my leadership actually is. So the key player supports the fastest growing brands in the world by being a shining example for doing less, holding space for more, and making a whole lot more happen. A really unique example of making a whole lot more happen by spending a lot less time working, more time playing with my kids, and and just even just being alone.
You wrote that all down, right?
Yeah, I read it off of what I wrote before the call. I want as many people to just take and copy it as possible, because I'm like stealing it from a lot of different sources.
Cool. So can you do me a favor and write it down in the chat box so that it's written?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Then we can all.
Yeah, I'll take the time. Yeah, I'll type it out. What I'll do is, how about this? After this call, I'll type it out and I'll post it in the Manifestation Mateys.
Perfect. Yeah. So if I'm gonna put it in one sentence, how can you make that into a concise sentence? Just so we have
like the last thing that I said. It's let's support the fastest growing brands in the world by being a shining example of doing less and demonstrating demonstrating example of powerful leadership by doing less and playing more. Doing less things, but getting more things done.
Efficiency.
Demonstrating powerful leadership through efficiency. Yeah.
I prefer you say doing less, but getting more done.
Doing less, but
like it's like an example of leadership.
Yeah.
Got it. And then attracting. There's something to be said for like attracting people who actually value that and want that. They'll pay more money for that than they pay for me to just work real hard and just show them how hard I can work. They don't want to pay for that, because I think that's the natural tendency what most of us have, is like we want to show our clients how hard we can work so that we can really earn that money and show how significant we are,
Get there on that. Demonstrating powerful leadership through less. So support the fastest growing brands in the world by being a shining example, demonstrating powerful leadership through doing less and getting more done.
Boom.
All right. Let's just close our eyes and take that all in, because that was a lot of awesomeness there. Thank you. I think let's celebrate Parker right now for sharing that, because that was very, very thought out and heartfelt. And let's thank Katie for arriving at the fact that she's awesome. And showing us that too. All right, Steph.
Okay, so I need to ask, is the intention why we joined BizCraft, or the intention from at this point right now in the program?
You can discuss what your intention was for joining BizCraft in the beginning, and then deduce it to, or basically come to the conclusion of where you are at now, because that's what's happening.
Okay.
That's where we're
so I joined BizCraft to change my entire life. I went all in. Coaching kept coming by me, and every just things that I read online that I was interested in, and it always had to do with coaching. And I'm like, am I supposed to be coached, or am I supposed to do coaching? I didn't really know. And so I did the challenge. I got notified. I got sent the challenge from Kit and Rosie because of Kyle Cease. And I read it, and I joined, and I had only 15 minutes. I saw it in one night. I got the email. I saw it that night. I registered that night, 15 minutes before the deadline. And so I did the challenge. And I went all in for everything. I was already changing things in my life, and I just thought, I am open to changing every single thing in my life. And so I did it. And through that, it's really about speaking my truth, healing my voice, being in my power, being the facilitator, the educator of my work, and growing now, but also what I want to do more than just what I've done. And so at this point, my intention is just to be a complete badass healer that's in her power. And that comes from standing in my strength energetically and being the healer that I am. And I have been writing stuff. I've been writing a lot. And that I can go beyond the pain. I can go to that place of darkness and help people to see what they need to see, or shine the light on where the light needs to be shown. And so there's a lot that I want to do, involve coaching in my work, have coaching be part of my work as a transformational healer, working with other people and co-creating, everybody's talking about co-joining or which I think is just an awesome thing. And just really constantly taking action, being in my power, and just owning it, trusting it, being in it, living it, doing it, creating it, and having fun, and have everything just feel really being in just working with high vibe people, always having high vibe conversations, and just being a part of a network of people that are taking action and just doing incredible things.
Nice. So is it to say you came into this to change your entire life, which is happening, and you are embodying your badass healer self?
Yeah, and to be a woman that's a business owner, right? A woman that's successful in business and able to represent herself and speak her truth and just be comfortable in my skin like that, right?
Cool. So to change your entire life, embodying into her badass healer self and being a successful businesswoman. Yeah.
Yeah, so I got to show you guys. Parker's given me some really good ideas that I am using. And so like I have all these notes on my iPad. Like, I don't know if you can see them. Like, so I've been like doing all this kind of writing, and I'm still working on this. I'm gonna put more on this, but I'm waking up to looking at boldness.
Beautiful.
In fact, I woke up to it this morning, and I was like, "Hey, that is really bright on my wall."
I love how you got it all bright, all those bright different colors.
Yes, I am doing it. I am on fire. I'm doing it, and I like using all those. I've been I'm gonna use all these things and the offering that I come up with by tonight. So yeah.
You're so beautiful. I don't even know what do you say.
And I'm excited. And I'm like, I've just been feeling like so much more in the power, right? And like just being present and owning it and doing it and taking action and just coming up with the words and the language, and
it's inspiring.
Not second guessing it, right? And just trusting that this is it. And like I have put everything that I have put in is for this time. And like I just realized that I have so much to offer. I have a huge offering, and it is the time. I can take it to the table and like not have to doubt anything. Like I'm looking for someone that, right, that would want to run with it, that has just as much power or is in integrity. Like I have it right now, and I just
and always
gotta keep on it going.
Yeah. Right now, oh my goodness, wow, what a shift. Woo.
You totally do have it.
You just like filled up the whole room with our whole chat room with like a bright light.
So, and I'm just really like, I guess owning that, right? And just really owning that, and knowing that I have put in my heart, sweat, blood, and tears every second of the way, you know, and that
you've paid the price over the last several years.
Yeah. And so I'm so grateful that I have the time. I'm so grateful that I am in this community and that I joined this program and I've been doing this work, because I feel like everybody in this craft is called to be a leader, right? We're all called to be a leader and a healer, or whatever it is our passion is. Like, it's not random. Like, this was preparing us to start leading and to be a leader, right? It's time for us to lead and be all the things we want to see in the world, in life, in the community, in children, whatever it is. Like, we gotta own it, because otherwise that energy out there it's kind of intense, you know, and like we need to be that. And I think it will attract, each of us in our own way, whatever it is that we need or that we're working on, we will attract all those people by being like so true to what we're working on, what we're being called to.
So, yay. We have another participant, Lisa, jumped on. So excited.
I'm here. Hi.
Well, Steph's gonna ask the question.
Now it's time for us to hear from you, Lisa, what your intentions are, what your intention was in coming into BizCraft, and where you feel like your intention is now.
Well, the intention is really about, I think, like having the audacity to ask the universe for the big dreams that I've been working on, and actually putting structure around them, and and I'm building a massive, it's really about a movement in Indian country. And so I'm just putting systems around it now.
I wish we could see your beautiful face, Lisa.
I like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that I'm not on here. Okay, hold on. my beautiful face, I'm like, oh my God, who knows what I'm looking like today? But okay, let's see.
Dude, that was so cool how you said the audacity to actually ask the universe to help you become a movement leader, the movement leader that you were meant to be, that you know.
Oh my God, you guys, I have no fucking idea how like I have been in this space. I have been like in a bubble. I don't know if and it started, I don't know if I talked about it last time I was with you guys, but this bubble reminds me, you know, if the kingdom of heaven were on earth, and I, you know, or I got to be in a magic bubble, I kind of feel like that's what's been happening. And so what I'm noticing in this space, because it's a little bit different than, you know, the discernment guidance that I'd ordinarily lean on, you know, in my faith background, but it still requires faith. And the faith becomes having the dream in front of me and just letting the gravity of it pull me. and it's showing me the steps along the way. It's like the kind of people that I am getting led to. If I can tell, so I'm just gonna say it so you guys can hear the kind of fucking badass shit this is. Okay, so in the audacity part is really just a simple thing, really, because when you it is so one thing that Indian tribes have is what we call sovereignty. And it's something that, which means our right to make our own laws, to govern our space the way we choose to govern it. You know, so when you break that down on a molecular structure, that becomes us as individuals, you know, claiming our own sovereignty as individuals. And then the audacity is just to be able to step into whatever that is and create your own sovereignty around that. But we're driving commerce and acknowledging our role as keepers of the earth and, you know, Mother Earth and Father Sky. And in that representation, there is it is so crazy because I got led up here to Oregon, and I got led to a piece of property that I went and saw on Sunday that is supposed to be receiving like some white buffalo, and there's a prophecy about the white buffalo. And it represents like, and instead of end of times, I'm declaring it as an end of time. That Native Americans, it's like this dark age of colonialism and all of the fuckery that has gone on. Because I was when I left San Diego, I was just there last week or whenever. I was right in the middle of a health meeting with the federal government, and what basically it's the same fuckery that I've been listening to ever since I've been on this board. And it's like, I feel like I've just like said, no more. This is the end of time we're talking about, that time of us not having our rights to the things that you know are ours. That period of time is over, and we want to recreate it. We want a healing space. We just want to get rid of all the shame for everybody, you know. And so I know it's kind of it may sound like I'm a little bit rambling, but
no, basically what I'm hearing is that you stood up in the board meeting like a badass leader and took a stand for turning the page and closing that chapter and opening up a new one.
Yeah, and part of it, and I think we just had to say no more. And what was interesting is that the government people were kind of like, help us find a way to find a solution. How can we help you? And it's not like we're people. It's not like they're bad, but it's the system is bad. So then one nice thing about this shift that's happening, it's like I feel like this whole shutdown is like a reshift. It's a reset. It's an opportunity for us. I mean, this is what we've been talking about the last days of the shift. And so I'm like, okay, if we're going to shift things up and we're going to start to, we have the baton. It is our time. It is, we're the people of today.
Lisa, check this
What?
out. This, like, how grateful are we? This is the exact disaster that we needed to be able to establish our strongholds, our strong footing, and rise and thrive as the leaders that we've been dreaming and wanting to be for years, and that we thought it would take us another decade to actually achieve. We can get there in a year because of this tsunami that's grateful, that is gracing us with its presence economically and worldwide, of and otherwise, not just economically but emotionally on all these humans.
Right. Yeah, it is a total reset. So the company we're calling it, it's more of a movement, but it's called One Bowl and One Spoon.
Yeah.
And One Bowl, One Spoon is a treaty that was done with the Six Nations. It's not exactly called that, so we're kind of doing our own spin on it. But the spirit of it is it's called a peace treaty. So it's not one fork and knife where we can stab each other. It's one bowl and one spoon, and it's basically that we all get a seat at the table, at the big table, and we all get the right to eat from Mother Earth, right? So we all get to partake of it. And I'm saying that we're saying our sovereignty is basically, our piece of pie of the universe, right? But behind that piece of pie is endless. It is endless. We just need to carve it out. And this is the kind of revelation I'm getting. And I'm like, oh my God. So anyway, so we're starting out with, there's the 50 tribe treaty that was signed to reestablish the buffalo. Reestablish the buffalo that got slaughtered. And it doesn't matter what the old story was anymore, is what we're all having our conversations about. It just happened, and we need to do something about it. And for us, it's a balance of life, and that is the treat. That is our sovereignty that we're claiming, is that we'll reseed the salmon, we'll replenish the elk, and bring back the buffalo, and bring it back, because these are things that we were just talking about buffalo bone broth and how healthy it is for your immune system, and how all the medicinal properties of of this animal, and even this. And so we want to teach people those sacred things, so that when the whole experience of how they how they prayed and they prepared themselves for that kill, and then it was more of a humane kill, kind of like I'd say a Native American kosher version of how this stuff gets actually done. And it's a whole piece of medicine that got left out. So I'm all about moving natural medicine back into the system. And I will tell you right now that the people that are taking care of people that can't get to the hospitals or sick and all that stuff, every natural remedy known to man that people can pick up, they're starting to pick up. And that's the awakening right now. People are just like, this whole healthcare system is fucked up. And there's some good things, and there's not so good things. So it's just a matter of like, we need to reset back. What other areas in the world as a people that we're seeing that things need to get reset. So this is the time where it's like, if you are in a position of influence, if influencer, people that make laws, people that need to hear the truth. I mean, I literally just was on the phone talking to my son. He's the vice chair of my tribe. And I've been trying to get these guys to do food storage, like prepare, order stuff, because we can't get in the stores and buy certain things because they're gone before, it's like one piece of cheese is out there, and all the rats have already been awake and got the cheese before anybody else, whatever those supplies are in the store, and I said, we just need to stock up, because if you're going to go down in quarantine, this is going to take a bit. We don't know about the second wave or third wave of the epidemic either.
I really want to celebrate you for some things, Stephanie. This is something I don't talk about a whole lot, but I'm also part Native and I've been around that community, and I guess in recent years, as what I would call woke PC culture has gotten stronger, it's something I've stopped sharing because I don't know. I guess I feel like someone's just gonna attack me for looking
Mm-hmm.
away. And something I used to post a lot about water rights. That was my big thing. I got a lot of friends and family in the Navajo Nation, and I kind of shut down to a lot of that because it stopped being solution oriented. Like nobody cared about solving the problem; they were just angry about the story. And so when I
Exactly.
heard you talking about how the story didn't matter anymore, we just needed to replenish the herds, like
Yeah.
every piece of me lit up. And I have got bison bone broth in the fridge right now. And I feel as a yogini like I'm in the meat closet. And when I'm like pushed about this, I'm just like, well, you know, you do you, but being vegan isn't part of my culture. Like
Right.
natural harvesting of animals is part of my culture, and you know, I think like buffalo is kind of the end all be all for me. But I really wanted to connect with you on that and praise you for that. And it seems strange to be like, you might have to be a little brave to be like, let's focus on the solution, or let's talk about the benefits of bone broth. But I'm so stoked that you're doing that.
Thank you.
That's needed. It's draining to be around people who aren't trying to fix anything. Like it's
Right.
okay to have feelings about things that happen, but you gotta focus on what is now and what can be done. So bravo.
But it is this move. The movement is even what Kit and Rosie are doing and the work that we're doing with this whole program. It's really about people not really knowing how to fix things, and by the mere fact that we've stepped into a space where we're learning how to do that. It's kind of like playing Super Mario, and we got to the next level, but we're all assholes to each other. So we really need to work on communication. So that's where we're at in the game, you know, as we, you know, progress up to our things, because that's where people get stuck. They have all these, like, they do all these things to each other, and it's rooted in the fact that they don't know how to express themselves. And that's just the work we're doing. And that's why, like, this 50 Buffalo group of tribes has been stuck for 15 years. 15 years. So I was just reading an article about a Native American man by the name of Charlie Trimble.
Mm-hmm.
And his wife said one of the greatest things that he knew how to do really well was get alignment. And that has been part of a foundation of our company is built. Oh my God. You guys gotta snap a picture of that. I swear to God, it's just like so crazy. I love it. Yes. It's supposed to be really, really good for you. But yeah. So anyway,
So
I love it.
I have it. So sorry to interrupt.
Sorry.
I wanted to, you brought up the white buffalo. So you brought up the prophecy of the white buffalo, and I don't think you finished it. And I want to hear what that is.
Oh, so it is just a marking of an end of time, in that it's a sign of abundance. So the other part is like, it's like an end of an era. It's a marking of a new dawning, you know, for our people. So there was supposed to be this birth of a white buffalo, and they have declared that it happened not too long ago. And so for the last 15 years, the tribes have been trying to, you know, figure out how to restock. They want to do it. What they're lacking is the business acumen. So going back to the story, sorry. So that is a part of, you know, the end of times is the end of ignorance, the end of the hate, the end of the story, the end of being a victim, you know, and stepping into the new place. I mean, that's how I'm declaring it. You can look it up. You can look it up. There's a little quick snippet on it, you know, but it's really about, you know, coming into a new place. And so we're going to use the spirit of that to drive this. And what was interesting, I don't know if I mentioned I'm in the cannabis business and I'm in the cannabis space, but eventually, the trade routes, it all are being laid out by people who are developing policies internationally, and those laws have got to include the tribes. And because I found out who's doing them, and I'm like, man, if you, so this is where I'm saying, hey, I want a piece of pie too. I want a piece of that pie, right?
Right.
And behind that, and I think we can do that in so many different spaces. I'm just saying, as tribes, as a movement, we have certain laws there that are unique to us, and it could be our talent. It could be something that is unique to us. Is what is our gift, and it's just a set of laws that give us, it's a set of circumstances that give us this position in the world. And so I'm just saying, let's utilize it and get our piece of the pie, and then be able to take care of our communities, but not only in that process and taking care of ourselves and healing ourselves, we end up healing a lot of people, I think, in a sense of teaching them values that have been void for a long time. They never got a chance to incorporate them because there was just like this mad dash to, claim the land and, figure all that out. So we did a couple hundred years of that. And then I'm done with commodity cheese. The white buffalo has arrived. I would like my convertible Bentley, et cetera, et cetera. Because our people have been
So let it be written, so let it be done.
Oh, thank you, baby. Oh my God, yeah. Anyway, so that's been my last couple of days of just me. Oh, and the other thing that was really cool about what happened is when I go up to this property, it's like this big old dude ranch up in the middle of the top mountains up here in Ashland. And it just so happens to be a trade route for the natives. And there's this huge field, and part of One Bowl, One Spoon is the image that's coming to everybody's mind is like this big trading blanket that gets laid down, because that's how they used to do trade, right? They'd get together, they would lay their blankets out, and then they would lay all their stuff out, and they would just do this barter thing, right? That's how the natives traded with each other. We did, there's some things that we used for money, like shells and things like that, but it was like, we did trading. And anyway, and that's kind of like one of the images that we have as a part of our company. It's a laying down of those trade routes again, so that we can participate in the marketplace in a very powerful way. I don't know, it's just I can't tell you the magical things that have been happening. It's just I'm overwhelmed, honestly. So anyway, but I hope I answered your. I know, Stephanie, you just have to read it. You can actually look it up. It's just a small snippet, but it's about what it means. I think it's an end of time, and there's this new rebirth. And I'm just saying we get to reinvent that.
It says,
yes,
white buffalo symbolizes abundance, trust that you will always have what you need. Peace tells of a time of calm and peace, that you are to pass this along to others. Spirituality, your spiritual growth will accelerate now. Call in the calm of the white to keep you grounded during this journey.
Okay, yeah, and then there's a story about the birth of the white buffalo. There is that story too, but yeah, there's that, right?
So that's our totem right now. This is so cool that we actually have like true Native Americans here, because I was able to work with a Comanche chief and actually learn the ways. I'm nowhere near American, nor am I Native, but I do have a lot of tribal aspects to me, and I'm like, wow, I'm actually sitting with a lot of tribal people here.
Well, how we're regenerating this is that we're calling on all the indigenous people of the world. So it's not just Indian country in the USA. It is the indigenous people from anywhere. They, were the keepers of the earth. Where they either had those practices.
So the Polynesian community is going to be heavy involved in it.
Oh yeah. We're gonna start reaching out to all of them. We want to lead with the buffalo, and so that we can create the model, and a lot of what we see so much. It's not just about we're teaching people how to, I have to go back and wake up to my indigenous ways, and there's going to be people in other cultures that are going to be able to be the teachers of that because they didn't lose it. We may have lost it through ethnic cleansing, but as we start interacting with one another, we'll start to bring all of that back to life. So it's exciting. Yeah,
So
that's been my couple of days.
let's celebrate Lisa for landing on this exciting endeavor, and yay!
Yay. Yeah.
Thank you.
So good. It's
Thank you.
awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, so before, because it's 8:01, so before we all go, does anyone want to close so that we can close this wonderful portal? I'm gonna ask maybe.
Hey. Oh, I was gonna ask Stephanie.
Okay, that's awesome.
She's just on point with her. Just give us like a succinct, bold, beautiful little.
Yeah, well, I would love for all of us to end with like a vision, right? Like to take a minute and breathe into.
Yeah. You know
Each of
what
our
she
visions.
said that was so good? She said a vision or a dream in front of me that literally, and then once you're holding that vision and dream in front of you, you just let the gravity of it pull everything that you want and need right to you.
Yeah,
which
that was
totally
awesome.
aligns. That totally aligns. Like that has so much harmony with what I said, which I said before she even got on. She didn't even hear what I said.
Yes, we're super. And I'm gonna add, we're all gonna write it down, okay? Whatever the vision is. Let's like take it from Parker being very specific. Just write.
Can you write that in our feed, Parker?
Yeah,
I love it.
Parker has 2 homeworks.
Or even take a picture or screenshot of it.
Yeah, you can do that too.
I have to have a screenshot of the buffalo bone broth.
Yes, please.
I need
We should post the recording to this.
I will.
Our meeting today into our group chat.
I will.
Yeah,
Michelle,
it's all really good.
I'm okay with that because for me too, some of the stuff I talked about, it'll help me break my pattern of staying hidden in the closet with a lot of stuff in my life. So I'm super down with that.
Yeah, well, come at it as a teaching, as a way of teaching, and you know what I mean, in an exciting way. Like it's a revelation. It's something to share. It's like we do recipes because we think they're the bomb.
Yeah. The recipes.
Yeah, and I was going to say, Katie, thank you for sharing. It's really nice to see more of you. And everybody here has so many gifts that I don't think you don't need to hide any of your gifts. You just need to let them show who you are.
Yeah, because you're awesome. Yay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, so let's do like a minute, or we could each do like 5 breaths, but I would like everybody to just really center and take a breath and really just ground into the power that you are, to the words that you have said, and for all of us to just breathe and visualize all those words, all those symbolisms, this time of shifting, of just unfolding and bringing us everything that we're called to do. However you want to see that vision.
It's making my arms tingle.
And a few more deep breaths of that love and power coming to each one of us and transforming the life of many. Thank you. And I ask that if anyone's having a hard time at any time in the next few days to just come back to that vision and us holding the space for each other. Thank you. So Lisa, are you still working during the day? Because I want to put up a time for a power of 8. So do you work during the day? Are you off right now?
I don't have a 9 to 5. I can roll whenever at this point.
Okay. So tomorrow.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does anybody have a preference of like a Thursday, Friday, a Saturday? What would be good for you guys that we can come up with a tentative time for a power of 8?
Weekend is not going to be good for me, at least for the next few weeks, because I've been doing a lot of travel for training. I was outside of Tulsa last weekend. I'm going to Oklahoma City this weekend to get a training weekend in. So, you know, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for me are usually the best days.
Okay. So maybe tomorrow.
We could do tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right.
Does anyone have objection with tomorrow?
No objection.
No objection.
All right. Is there a time that works better, at morning or early afternoon or
Like
late
2
morning?
in the afternoon-ish, Pacific time.
Okay.
Works
I can
good.
do any time.
I'd like to
Okay.
see. So can we do it at around this? What time is it there for you guys?
6. Well, I'm in Utah time, so 5 Pacific time.
So we started around 4 for you. For Parker, what time?
Yeah, we started at 4 Pacific time today.
And Katie, we started at.
I missed that.
At 6 p.m. Central Time. But yeah, 2 p.m. is going to be like the middle of the night for Danielle.
Okay. So 4 or
Yeah,
same
that would
time
work.
today? 4
Later would work too. Yeah.
or
Anytime.
5?
What I meant was anytime after that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, the same time we did today would actually work.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
It'll be
tomorrow.
5 o'clock for me.
Sounds good.
All right. So,
All right. I'll put up a thing.
Yeah, please.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I just want to put up.
And what's the exact intention of the power of 8?
Everybody has one intention, and then
Everyone
we all
brings an intention to it.
just one.
Everyone has a little bit of time, a minute or two, to bring the focus of the meeting to that intention, and we go through each person.
Yeah, you get a minute or so to talk about it, and then we divide up the time. So if it's 4 minutes or 5 minutes, then we all meditate on that, your intention for that 4 minutes.
So people bring an intention to it
Yes.
that is so clear that someone could literally point their index finger at it and see
Yeah,
it.
and people do everything from my Uncle Henry has cancer to I need to manifest money in my life at this time for food. It doesn't matter. So any intention, and then you'll get to talk about it. And we do like 4 minutes. We all meditate on that intention for 4 minutes. And then if anyone wants to share anything, they can. And then we go on to the next person.
All right. So, Steph, you can be the one to totally give like the instructions in the group, and whoever shows up. And
Okay.
Parker, actually,
I will. I'll write it out too.
Thank you. And Parker, yours like specific intention setting would be a really good example, I think, for the whole team. So when you do have the time, you can write that out, even just a picture, like Katie suggested. And yeah, so we'll see each other.
I'll tighten it up a little bit. And then I'll post it.
Fabulous. Okay. So with that, I want to say thank you to everybody. fabulous, amazing group. Well, and have a great day.
Thank
All
you.
right. Good night, guys.
Okay.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.